As you can tell from my voice, I think I'm around 97%. I might be 96. I'm not sure, but it's a whole lot better than it was. And what a great gift to receive in feeling better and staying home so that I don't gift it to you at this time of year. So there we are. Cheers. So in leading in for this, oh, hang on here. I have to do my clicky tech thing. There we go. Welcome back. So today is the 19th of December, where I am in my tiny corner of the world, and why, yes, I am wearing a pajama top over my sweater, and I'm not because I'm in bed. I'm well. It's just that I thought, what is very festive. Goes with my Christmas earrings, and kind of suits my hair. So there we are. I wasn't going out anyway because it's minus stuff. So we're all good. So this being the 19th, and we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday the 24th. We have like 5 days until the day of what all this fufara and stuff has been about. And I on this day I decided to make a little joke, make a little punny joke, and invite you to come with me to get your bearings. Bearings, Care Bearings. And the reason the Care Bear thing came up, it made me laugh really hard a couple of days ago. I don't know if you spend any time on the social media where you get to watch little random clips of things that people post. And periodically, at certain times of the day, I've noticed that there are trends in what seems to pop up. Or maybe it's because I've clicked on stuff. But I find that at a certain time in the afternoon or maybe early evening, there are people talking about how to do more and be more and lean this way and lean that way and how to lose weight, how to get rid of that pain and stuff. They don't actually tell you how. They tell you that you should, that you can, that you have permission, and all you need to do is. And while I grasp the reason they do it, they're cheerleading, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with cheerleaders. Cheerleaders are awesome. They fire us up. They get us excited about what's going on. Everything is rah rah. It's fabulous. Cheerleaders are fabulous, and they're cute. They're handsome, cute, whatever. And it's a lot of colorful activity on the sidelines of whatever the thing is. The thing about cheerleading, though, is that the people who are being led are not expected to leap out of their seats and run down to the field and climb over the fence and do the cheer with the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders are the show, and we are the spectators. We bought a ticket. We're in the stands. We're supporting the team. We're not in the game. We're with the game. We're not of the game unless we previously played the game and now we've temporarily been sidelined. So we're not participating in the same way that the cheerleaders are. And because of that, we watch the show. We don't sit there in the middle of the go team thing, do the foozy what's it. We don't say to ourselves, I wonder how many hours of practice and falling over and hurting ourselves and bruising ourselves it took to get that apparently effortless defiance of gravity to happen. It's Shazam worthy. How the hell they do it? We don't have time, in the middle of the go 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 thing. We don't have time to analyze how they got to achieve that. We just get to enjoy their achieving of it. And just the same way we enjoy the achieving of the game, we're cheering them on. They miss it by that much, and everybody's, oh, it's a huge, fabulous participatory adrenaline rush. It's not participation down on the field. You're there, and we're over here. So we don't need to know how they do what they do. We get the benefit of the fact that they know how they do what they do, right? We get the benefit of that. That's all that we're supposed to be doing. So there's a bit of a glitch. There's a bit of a wait a minute when people become guides and coaches and mentors and cheerleaders and motivators for a living, for a purpose, for a job. Because when they go get their training, they're trained how to be the cheerleader. They're trained how to be the teacher, how to be the coach. They're not trained in how to be the hands-on instruction, step by step. Watch me do me. Once you do me, we help you do you. That's not what these motivator people do. That's not their job. And we all miss that kind of, wait a minute, there's an ingredient missing in this soup. It didn't look like this in the recipe book. It didn't feel like this when I tasted in the restaurant. It didn't have that. So there's something missing. So today, I had this delicious experience out of nowhere and in perfect timing for the video today. And it has to do with Care Bears. And it has to do with one of these motivator guys. And I like this guy. He's a very soft packaged person. He's not a a Navy SEAL kind of thing. Good morning, Freddie. I know it's Chris Churchill's birthday today. Happy birthday, Chris. Yay, candles and whatnot. And hoo-hoo. This guy who talks about how to get gooder at, out of nowhere said, this is the time of year. I don't know about you. He's doing the video and he says, this is the time of year. I don't know about you. This is the time of year I would really like to be personal friends with a Care Bear. And I had my coffee and I had thankfully swallowed already the mouthful of coffee that was no longer in the mug. It was in my mouth. I had just swallowed it. So fortunately, it didn't go all over the keyboard and all over the screen and all over the back wall. And I didn't choke to death. The timing was perfect. So I'm very grateful. And I burst out laughing because I did not see that coming. And I don't watch any of them, voraciously. And I don't watch him like deliberately seek him out. But if his thing pops up, I'll check him out because as I said, I like his energy. So when he's the Care Bears, I sort of said, hi. And I thought, he can't see that. Besides, he didn't record this, not live. I'm still there. Hi. Because I thought, how funny would it be if he was doing a live thing and I could actually pop on and say, hi. You said you wanted to, every now and again, you wish you knew a Care Bear. 3 of them. Here I am. How you doing? Just to watch his moment, right? How incredibly fun would that be? And then he no sorries. I don't know if Chris is watching either. I certainly, on social media, I wished him happy birthday. And there's no sorries, Freddie. It's wonderful to remind me. I knew you were going to, and I'm grateful. So anyway, this fellow, I don't even know his name. He said, here's the thing about Care Bears. They're yummy and fun and they love you and they ask nothing in return. And they're the perfect person, the perfect entity, perfect friend to have because all they want to do is love you. And he said, every so often this question occurs to me. I wonder if when they're just alone together, like they're not out there staring goodness and happiness and love at people and banishing all the bad stuff. I wonder if they ever ask themselves or each other if they should maybe be wearing pants. Out of left field from around a corner, did not see that coming. And I howled. And he said, not that it takes anything away. from, all the feel good feelings. And I mean, and then he was going on about what a great idea the people had who created them, because all they are is just this endlessly and always in the present moment, deliciously loving. And I, of all the people who could have been watching the video, who could completely understand what he was saying, there I was, because I was one of the very few actors. There were like four of us or five. I don't think there were five of us. We created all the original bears. There were 10 eventually in the beginning 2 years, but on the very first take, the very first get together, there were six, and I voiced three of them. And we sat around with the creators and the concept and the toy makers and the whole idea behind creating soft and yet focused, gentle yet purposeful, loyal yet committed to their purpose, which is all of us. And what kinds of creatures would they be, and who and how would they sound, and how would they move, and how would they act, and what would the tone of their voices be that we would give to these little creatures, because they'd never existed before we sat down to talk about the creation of them. And a cartoon, the crazy combination of creativity is not just the drawing, and not just we think this bear is and give it a personality type, humanity it a little bit, um, but all of the behaviors, the sound of the voice and the attitude and the way the bear moves, and its intentions and purposes and signature attitudes hadn't happened before us. So it was magical, about 1,000 layers deep in those early meetings. And I've always had so much fun explaining to people when I do my live events. And where are my bears? Can you see them? Can you see the drawing of my bears? They're right there. There they are. They're my three bears. Um, the fun that I had. I mean, so Love a Lot Bear has two hearts, and Love a Lot is a girl. Is a soft. It has feminine energy. Let's not say she's a girl. It's a bear with feminine energy, but predominating, and it is just this all radiating, yummy, cuddly love a lot, and loves a lot, and sort of this kind of a now known as Barbie pink, right? And so I was looking for the tone and the richness and the warmth and the kind of the hidden giggle in her voice to give her all kinds of dimension. And that was a lot of fun. I love a lot, bear, that sort of thing, right? And then Wish Bear is a shooting star, and Wish Bear is a kind of a beautiful turquoisey, taupey, robin's eggy kind of blue, not quite green, in that sort of soft in between. And we all saw Wish Bear as wistful, because a wish is a future thing. And so Wish Bear was always looking just ahead. She was present, and again, very, very soft, feminine energy. Not necessarily she, but feminine energy, very soft, and yet at the same time tentative. Was not as clear and confident as Level Up Bear. However, Wish Bear never stopped wishing and believing and hoping and dreaming. So while Wish Bear was softer and gentler, Wish Bear was a visionary. And I wish they'd let me finish. I wish. And never ever didn't wish. Never ever wasn't fully in the Care Bear staring and caring. Never absent at any time. So that was a glorious, sweet, fabulous creature to give voice to, right? And then so she had all the different softer, shyer mannerisms. We love a lot was just there. And my arguably, without question, of all the bears ever at any time, my favorite from the very first instant has always been Friend Bear. Friend Bear to me has always been in the conversations that we had, and two sunflowers. Ta-da! and Friend Bear to me has always been a small boy, little boy energy, male energy. Okay, but in training, male energy in training, little boy energy, right? Um, Fearless in very small, in small size fearless, right? And unable to see any kind of drawbacks to anything whatsoever. And so I have always described Friend Bear as a very clumsy, well-meaning superhero. Fearless, ow. Wait a minute. I'll be there in a minute. I'm stuck. Kind of thing. And so so the voice for me had a little boy creature, a little bit formative male energy. I'm gonna be big one day. I'm big on the inside. That kind of little kid, right? A little kid. And I just have always, and forever loved doing those voices. So when this motivation guy said, "Wouldn't it be awesome this time of year if we knew a Care Bear? If like the phone rang, we answered the phone and it was a Care Bear saying, 'Hi, how are you?'" and and the minute this fellow said that, I could hear Billy's voice in my head saying, see. Billy's always saying you need to be doing this for people. And I say, I would be happy to do this for people. I would be delighted to do this for people. There's organizations where you sign up and you enroll and then they charge money and take a percentage. And I've tried to sign up and enroll and be part of it. And the two or three times that I made the attempt, I got a firm rejection from whatever the algorithm is saying you're not famous enough. Thank you. Keep trying. Don't give up. And I'm thinking, what? I'm not here to qualify, really. I was here to participate. I thought I already have the uniform. I'm already in the game. I've been to all the practices. Put me in, coach. And they're asking me if I've ever heard of the game itself. And I'm thinking, what? There, dear. So clearly not meant for us to be together on this particular path in this moment. No problem. However, what I wanted to say today was about the larger story of that. The larger story of me saying, you know what I'm going to do? Care Bear's got to be free. Absolutely. We are free to be. And so I said to myself, I want to talk about the word bearing. I want to talk about the word getting our bearings and bearing with me and bear with me and unbearably wonderful. And, you know, am I going in this direction? I need to stop for a minute and recalibrate and get my bearings. All of these different uses of the word bear as the root, you know, bear our soul, bear our truth, and focus on what matters. Get our bearings. Remember why we came. Remember where we meant to be going. Let's do that reset. Let's do it now. It's the 19th of the month of December. Today's a great day to do a rethink, a reset, a clarification. Oh, the three wise men came bearing gifts. Okay. So many different definitions of bearing. And I said, this is fabulous for a word girl like me. This is an amazing conversation to have. What I want to say to us today is this: how much can a koala bear? Patrick. There, dear. What I want to say is this. The the legend of Vikings is that they had several remarkable gifts. Okay, I just have to delete this. How do I get rid of that? Uh, there. I'm sorry, there was some odd person who just put something down. Yeah, thanks, Eddie. I just got rid of it. And good morning, Eddie. So, here's the thing about the question people are asking. And I heard a brilliant, I heard a brilliant answer the other day. Some interviewer asked a famously successful person, how do people get where they want to be? How do people become their dream? Interviewer talking to recognizable celebrity. How did you achieve your dream? And this celebrity said, people who get where they want to go know where they want to be going. And I thought, yeah, that would be what is called a simple win. The interviewer blinked, sat there, and grinned. And the celebrity said, so many people have a vague idea of how they want to feel or where they think they want to end up. And they project that wish, they project that lack instead of focusing on the actual thing that matters to them. And the interviewer just sat there as though turned to stone with this still fabulous smile of wonder on his face. And the famous person said, whatever it is you want, focus on it. What thing do you want? What place do you want to stand? What feeling do you want to have as your resting feeling, as your go place? When you open your eyes, where are you exactly, precisely? How do you feel exactly, precisely? What is the thing you are going to do when you leave wherever you have been sleeping and you get up and you do whatever you do? When you're ready to begin your day of productivity, what is it? What is this thing you do? Use a very clear word. Write it down. That is your map. That is your set of directions. That is your compass. If you have a map, you have directions, you have a compass, you use those three things to get your bearings. You check those three things on a regular basis because the tides of life shift. The wind shifts. External events take place. We don't live in a vacuum. The ripples of all the things that happen rock our boat, shift our boat. If we wish to reach our destination, if we wish to be what we have said we want to be, that we are, and we just need clarity, and we just need practice, and we just need belief, we also need to check our bearings to make sure we haven't drifted off course. We haven't been nudged off course. We haven't floated off course. Saying I want a pony isn't enough. What are we going to do about it? How do we get close to a pony? We have to do the work. Do we want a pony more than a kitten? Now we have a priority. Until we know what we want, we don't know how to get there. The minute we know what we want and we make it clear and we can see it and feel it and taste it and know that it resonates with everything that we are, then we can go and look at the boat we're about to step into. Look at the vehicle we are about to step into and get rid of the baggage that doesn't serve us. If once upon a time we wanted a pony and now we don't, fair enough. We don't need all the pony equipment. It's just taking up space. We can make it available to other people who do want a pony. We can give our gifts to those who need them. We can share and give so that we all prosper. Until we know where we wish to be, we have no idea how to get there. We have no idea what tools we need. We have no idea the steps that are required of us, unless someone has done it like us, before us, and they wrote the instructions down. And they said, here, try these. And we don't have to follow the instructions like robots. We can learn the steps, see how they connect, practice until we're good at it, and then say, I love all 8. Those 2, not so much. The minute we remove those 2, it becomes our instructions. It becomes our map. It becomes our compass, because it is taking us where we want to be. Isn't that fascinating? We need to know what the destination is. If you say, I'm going to go on a trip, and you pack a bag, and you walk it out to the car, and you unlock the car, and you get in the car, and you put the bag in the car, and you close the car door, and you sit behind the wheel, what do you do next? Well, hopefully you know where you were planning on going on the trip. Because the first thing you're going to do once you start the car is you're going to reach the end of the driveway, and you immediately have options. You know which options are of the greatest benefit to you in this immediate moment if you have no idea where you're going. I'll just drive and see what happens. Okay. Do you have gas money? Do you need fuel money? Can you recharge the car somewhere? Good luck, because if you don't know and you're just kind of winging it, then maybe your destination is the journey itself. Maybe the driving is the plan. Maybe that is the trip. It's just seeing what comes next and randomly going. Fair enough. Perfect. If that is what you want, take it and run like the wind. If we look at the place we want to be as something in the distance, we are telling our mind that the place we want to be is somewhere in the distance. If we tell ourselves, I am, I know who I am, I know what I am, I know what my superpower is. This is what I do. Okay? Then I just keep saying that because it's true. And the more people who hear me know it's true. And now I have a tribe, eager and ready and waiting to be there with me. The people who need and want to hear me know where I am, know how to find me, know how to prioritize their day to make time for me. My journey is who I am and what I do and why it matters to you. And I had this amazing conversation with my uh, strategy guru, pal, partner, Barbara Munshaw. And I said, I have two superpowers. Superpowers. I have, yes, I stupefy people. I have two superpowers. And she said, yes, you do. What are they? And I said, I'm a storyteller. And I use stories to navigate from where I am to the next place. And the stories are designed to make people feel excited about being on the journey with me. And she said, that is absolutely exactly who you are and what you do. Absolutely exactly. All of it. And I said, I give them the tool they need, the prop they need, the opportunity they need to step outside what might have been comfortable or at the very least familiar. I make available to them something that looks like so much fun. It doesn't feel scary at all. It feels like more fun than anything. And she said, exactly. Yes, that is your story. That's how you are highly addictive. People have the best time ever and they want to do it again. And I said, that's right. That's what I know how to do. And I know how to navigate from where I am to where I need to be. And she said, yes. I said, and the only time I get in trouble is when I'm in the way and I can't see the forest because I am the tree. And she said, also very true. Also very true. It takes you a long time to see how you got off course because you're not paying attention. And that is how you come unstuck. You never direct other people off course. It only happens to you because, by the way, you forgot to get your bearings. And I said, right. So my learning curve is keeping me as humble as possible. And she said, yes. The other part of the conversation that we had that is part of this I'm inviting you to get your bearings with me, to bear with me, to bear with me, to bear with me, to bear with me. I'm inviting you to do this with me because I've been practicing longer than you. And therefore, if you do it with me, I will share my shortcuts with you. And why wouldn't you? Well, you might not be ready. Fair enough. It is not the destination that matters, but the journey. It is, in fact, something fascinating, Freddie, and you're absolutely right. And it's a lovely quote. I'll tell you why. It's a curious thing that we get wrong. And I think we get it wrong in a well-meaning way, in the way we tell our stories. And it's this. Once upon a time, a long time ago, or once upon a time in the far distant future, So we set up an imaginary story in order to be imaginary. Get thy bearings. Yes, Patrick. Yes. Great song. Um, we tell our stories in the far distant future or the far distant past when we're telling a fable or a fairy tale or a parable. And we do that so that we have more freedom to create imaginary things that aren't concrete and directly in front of us. And it's a good intention. So my dad, when I was a little kid, would be the one to tell me the bedtime story. My dad was a storyteller. My dad could tell stories till the end of time, and his story for me always began. Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a far-off land, there lived a king who had a beautiful daughter, the princess. That was the introduction, and then and he would say that to activate his brain to think of the story to tell me, and I would sit there listening. And when the story came to an end, he would kiss me goodnight and tell me he would love me and he would see me in the morning, and I would go to sleep. I don't remember how his stories that he told me ended. I do not remember the way he brought them to a close. I don't. I don't remember most of the stories either. I just have this vivid, vivid memory of the beginning. I can close my eyes or leave them open, and I can see me in the bed, and I can see him sitting beside me, and I can see him telling me the story, and I can see him smiling. And if it was going to be a crazy story, one side of his mouth would go up a little crooked, higher than the other, and I would know that was the signal. That was the tell that this was going to be one of those stories, one of those Shaggy Dog stories that would go on and on forever. And I remember that it was just a magical time. That's what I remember. I remember the magical time. Here is the mistake that I think we make. Is it the stories that people tell, the stories that we see in the movies, in the animated films, in the books that people are writing and buying and reading to their children? Is it the last line of the story is, and they all lived happily ever after? And I know why they say it. I know that it's meant to provide a warm and comforting and cuddly, delicious closure, a beautiful, soft bow, a beautiful word hug, a happy thought of yummy dreams as we go off to sleep. But at some point in my childhood, I remember hearing the little voice in my head say, after what? Happily ever after what? And I don't remember how old I was, but it had to have been at some point when I was old enough to perceive that every military posting was going to be followed by another one. There would always be another military posting. There would always be another move. It would always come eventually. And therefore, for me, there is no after. There is always is. This is where my house is now. This is my now, my ever. I have no idea how long my ever is. All I know is that it is. All I know absolutely for certain is that I have an opportunity, I have the freedom and the power to take my part of this space, this place, and make it mine. Make it completely mine for nobody but me. And when I'm in my space, when I'm in my place, I'm bigger than happy. You know what I am? I'm happily. I'm happily in my space. I am happily making it mine. I am happily making my vision real. I know where I'm going because I'm here. This is my meanness. This is my home. This is where my heart is. This is where my happily is. How long am I here? Forever. I don't know how long ever is. None of us does. Ever is now. Forever now. I am happily forever now. There is no after. The destination, when I get in the car and I drive to a place, I booked a hotel, I see the sign of the hotel, the journey isn't over. I have a new journey. I have a new destination. The new destination is the parking lot. Once I find the parking lot and I park the car, I have a new destination, the actual building. Once I get the luggage out of the car and I lock the car and I walk to the door and I go in the door, I go up to the front desk, I'm in the building, I have a new destination, the room. Once I get to the room, I have a new destination. Every step I take takes me one step closer to me. I am always right here. This is always my destination. Always. We always have our destination. We are our destination. We get our bearings by looking up and saying, dear God, how long have I been this far off course? This doesn't look like the map. Oh, when was the map printed? Oh, 1492. Okay, so there's been a lot of development since then. Remember those days when we first got the annoying thing that you plug into your car and it tells you where you are? Whatever that was. Garmin. Is it Garmin? We had one that persisted in telling us that the driveway was 2 driveways down from where we lived. So I would shut it off. Because it's clearly wrong. Dave would yell at it. You're wrong. It's a machine. So I stopped saying it's a machine because I realized that part of his journey was being right, was controlling something that was uncontrollable. I was part of his thing. Live long and prosper. So getting our bearings for this pivotary conversation, for this beautiful, fabulous story of navigation tools and how-to instructions. By the way, it occurred to me the other day when I was making a joke about, when you get the instructions and then those companies that throw in an Allen key, no idea what to do with it. I said, who came up with the name Allen? I haven't reminded myself to look it up. Freddie will tell me. Freddie Moore will tell me. So I think it should be called the aha key. Because how the hell am I? I think if I'm going to make keys available in my training books, I'm going to include an aha key. How about that? Let's see if I can get something made that we wear around our neck, right? Or a pin. I don't know. A sticker. Aha. Aha. There's so many different ways we can say it. It's the bearings key. What's it called? Ah. Oh, there you are. So in this recognition moment that The Vikings, first of all, had no written language. So they gave each other instructions. Number two, number two, mono engineering, another thing, what? Can you tell me what that is? Can you? I can't read it, Eddie. It's a link. I'll read it later. So here's the thing. Vikings went to places no one had been, at least no one they knew had been. Vikings didn't have a written language. So Vikings would go someplace and then they would tell a story when they got back. Yeah. When you see the split sapling, okay, bear right. Okay, that is only good while the sapling is still split. Number two will mention how it's got its name. Oh, I see. Thank you. All right. So, well, I'm sure Alan is very proud. So, and they would come home and they would see the sapling and it's still there. And the next time they would see the sapling, then one day the sapling wasn't there. And so they had to have a new marker to get your bearings. So they would scratch a mark on a stone. And when they got home, they said, so I scratched a mark. It looks like this. When you see the mark on the stone. Okay, so if moss grew on the stone and it covered it up, every time they're going, somebody said, I walked past the stone. I didn't realize it was a stone that's covered in moss. Okay, so then the first Viking says, so did you scrape the moss off? Oh, no, I didn't. I was too busy falling off the cliff. Okay, so Freddie, you are always my fact checker. You are always my first fact checker. I think of Eddie as looking for verification. Eddie is looking for exceptions to rules. So I see the two of you as of equal value and importance in the growth of my knowledge base. So I'm forever grateful. So the idea was that the Vikings would tell stories. They would talk about the day that this happened and the day that happened. And those became navigational tools. Those became the verbal maps and messages and legacies and reminders that they shared amongst each other as they traveled, as they left a barren stretch of land to look for something more profitable, more habitable, more comfortable. And one of the things that they discovered, how they discovered it, I have looked up. However, for me in this moment, how they discovered it is not so important as that they discovered it. At some point, they realized that a very specific crystal, when they held it up, no matter how overcast, how stormy the sky was, and how odd and weird the wind was and the waves, if they looked through this crystal that is now known as a sunstone, so named because if there was any light to be found at all, this crystal allowed them to see the brighter part of that light. You could discern it out of the mist of the darkness, and if you headed in that direction, you were heading toward the sun, and that gave them their bearings. They also then developed a floating compass that allowed them to not be held hostage to where they happened to be sitting in a boat. All of these things over the years, and there were many other tools and techniques that they developed over time. And what they were for exclusively was to make the task of getting their bearings, adjusting their bearings, easier. What they were looking for was the simple win, right? So what we want always when we wake up in the morning is to move from where we are to the next place we want to be on our agenda. I'm going to disappear for a while. Chesty cough nagging me last night and so far most of the morning bronchitis. I hope not. Oh, Eddie, honey, I'm so sorry. Listen, that has been going around. Lots of people are talking about it. I think we've kind of forgotten that this is the time of year we're spending more time indoors, less time getting fresh air, and get as much fluid, warm fluid in you as you can. Give yourself permission to rest as much as you can. I am definitely on the mend, and just look at this opportunity for you to do a quiet and forgiving and permission based reset, because there are exciting days ahead and we deserve to rest between the waves. So, big, big virtual hugs. Thank you for being you. Give my love to Jeff. So, where we are in getting our bearings now is so exciting and important, because the new year, we call it a new year. We have set up a calendar to be able to say this is a benchmark. On this day, I declare a fresh page. I always have beside my computer, I don't know if I ever show this to you, I have these 3-ring binders. And I love this one. This particular one, it's got 350 pages, and I love the size of it. I love the height and the width and the depth. And I have it right beside me. So I have the computer here, stuff I'm doing, stuff I'm writing, all kinds of other stuff over here, notes. But every single day, all the time, I am constantly making little notes to myself. I take it to bed and I put it on the table beside my bed, so that if I wake up in the night and I think of something, I write it down. Always. And I have had these little books for a very long time. And this one is brand new, fresh. I'm so excited. And I've written on this little page 2024 with a hug and a kiss to all the ideas that I'm going to be keeping track of. And I have a banker's boxes of these books. I never throw them away. Why? Every so often I sit down with a cup of hot sweet tea and I read, looking for a phrase, a word, something that pops up that I have temporarily forgotten, but I know it's safe. I know they're always here. So this is my page turning book that I will be starting a week from Monday, and I'm so excited. And the one I'm working on right now, I have just enough pages left. I mean, every page is crammed full of all kinds of notes and turn downs and things to remember, and drawing hearts and phone numbers and reminders to do things. This is not that I would be lost without this. This is, I think of this as my external storage locker. So it's not all crammed in here. I have this one, and then I have all the others. I have four of them that are all about the Pivotry in Motion project. Every phone conversation I've had with every person I've interviewed so far, there are pages dedicated to that conversation, because it's never, as you all know, those of you who I've talked to, they're not, and when you were 5, then what happened? It's not like that. It's a wandering all over the place, journeying back and forth and through the leaves and staring up and noticing bits and pieces of things. And then I take random notes, and then I just shut down after the call and I just write what I remember. And then I check my notes and I write some more, and I go away and think about it and come back and write some more. And then I send it off and say, tell me what's wrong with it. And people correct me. And I say, add what's missing, and they add what's missing. And it becomes their chapter. And this is how all my interview books have started, and they have all been kept and preserved in these 3-ring notebooks. So my benchmark days, my birthday is a benchmark. It's my annual reset. It's my annual, let's see how far I have come in the 365, 6, whatever days since my last check-in on me day. That is the big, big thing for me about my birthday. It's not how many years. It's what I did during this one. that is so exciting to review and hug and give thanks for, because we're always here. There is no after. We're always now. We can think about what's going to come in our next now, in our new next now. Of course, we can plan, but we don't live there. We live here. We make the plan, and then we continue to carry on here where we are. This is how we get our bearings, and this is how we stay true to our bearings. So, the bearings message, and I'm inviting you to bear with me. Part of that is put up with me. Part of that is absolutely true, right? Of course it is. The other part of it is enjoy the leaning with me. Share your leaning with me. Well, hi from New Zealand. How wonderful, New Zealand, to hear from you. Tyler's vids from New Zealand. Hi back from Ottawa, Canada. Hello, fellow colonial. How's the weather down there? If you tell me you're having a heat wave and you're wearing your new shorts, I'm going to say good on you. I can't do your accent. I'm not allowed. You know, I have to tell you, Tyler, there's a couple of things I do worse than singing. And I can do a lot of voices and I can do a lot of accents. For some reason, New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa accents elude me. And so I admire them and I wave from a distance and I hope they're doing well. And the accents say, we love you too. So bearing with me, bearing with me is choosing to own, choosing what we own and choosing what we discard to get clear on where we are going. The weather is good, but it's still dark. It's 5 a.m. down there. Well, did you bump your head? Why are you up? It's 5 a.m. God bless you. Crazy man. So I had this conversation. I think I've told this a number of times, that when I greet people, I don't say how are you, because whatever it is they're going to say to me is a subjective word that I don't know the meaning of in the way they mean it. You know, if I say, how are you? They say, fine, and you? I don't know what fine means by their definition. I know what fine means when I say it. I don't know what they mean when they say it. So rather than falling down that pointless little rabbit hole, what I have taught myself to do is to say, hello, good morning, good evening, whatever. And then I say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your day? And a couple of things happen immediately that are fascinating. When you try it, I really invite you to try it. It's a great way of getting in sync with other people's bearings. It's very, very cool. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being here, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your day? Not how are you? How's your day? It's your day. How is your day unfolding? It doesn't make you a victim. It doesn't make you a volunteer. It doesn't put you in any kind of a position of responsibility or ownership at all, other than that it happens to be your day. It's your day. How's your day on a scale of 1 to 10? If they say a low number, 5 is halfway, right? So if it's lower than 5, I say, those days are a challenge. Good for you for leaning in. If Adrian says 6, awesome. I then say, okay, 6, better than a 4. What number would you like it to be? And they go, whatever they go. So let's try it. Let's try it. Freddie says 8. Adrian says 6. Adrian, we'll start with you. Adrian, I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your day? You typed 6. What number would you like it to be? Type that number. Tell me what that number is. Freddie, you do the same. You said 8. What number would you like it to be? Type that number. Now, when you type that number, Adrian says 8. Okay, awesome. Here's the thing then, Adrian. Here's the deal. Okay? Your bearing is now 8. You're at 6. Your bearing is 8. That means, since your bearing is 8, anything that is lower than an 8 is irrelevant. 9. Excellent. I should write this down. I keep forgetting to ask the 1 to 10 scale. It's, Patrick, it is so beautiful when you do it. The first time you do it, you'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. Guaranteed. So so Adrian was 6. I said, and what number do you want it to be? 8. Okay. Then Adrian, any single thing that happens in your day that pings below 8 is not yours to own. It's irrelevant to your purpose, to your path, to your journey, to your destination, because you are on a bearing of 8. So if there's negativity, if there's empty drama, if there's irrelevant, puddle splash thing, whatever ever thing that sets up a resonance below 8, not yours remotely. Therefore, it doesn't have any weight or value or influence on you emotionally, energetically, bearings wise. It's like if somebody walked up to me and said, you have stupid blue hair. Okay, here's the thing. You know what I know? It's not blue. Just saying. I don't care what kind of colorblind you are. It's not blue. Therefore, every other thing you said in conjunction with blue is irrelevant. Your opinion, your negativity, your toxic energy is irrelevant because, by the way, not blue. You're an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're just irrelevant. Whatever it is you said and whatever little black cloud you've got going on, carry on through. Open the front door, open the back door, allow them to carry on through. Slam. Okay. So if you wish a 9 and you're at an 8, great. Then 9 is the bearing. Adjust the compass, lean the boat, turn the sail, carry on, tally ho. If the bearing is 9 and a bumpy, pointy rock goes by at 7 and it doesn't touch the boat, we didn't need to be worried about it. It was good to see it. And everybody lean this way a little more sooner to make sure. But that's it. That's a 7 inconvenience or a 5 inconvenience. Not ours. Write it down though. Oh, can't write. We don't have writing. Okay, so remember to tell everybody that three fingers past the tree, there was an outcropping. We'll tell people about that next time. It can be really hard sometimes not to feel it's your responsibility to teach them it's not blue instead of shrugging it off. Okay, so here's the thing. Feeling that it's your responsibility to teach somebody to see the world the way you see it, it's called bossy. Knock it off. It's not your responsibility to teach them anything unless they say, can you show me how to do this? In which case, you still get to say, I can't today, or I don't feel like it, or something. You don't have ownership of anybody else's life. You don't have ownership of anybody else's emotion. You don't have ownership of anybody else's scars from whatever thing they barked their emotional, energetic belief shin on. It's theirs. It's all theirs, not yours. So if you say, not mine to own, and you use the analogy that somebody blue, and you think, I have not a single thing on me except possibly, oh yeah, some of these little stars and hearts are blue. But there's also red and purple. And if you don't like my twinkly stars and hearts, dangly, ridiculous, frivolous Christmas earrings, that is a shame for you. That is a true shame for you. Try to imagine how little I care that you find no joy in these. Sucks truly that this does nothing for you. The joy and abundance is that it does everything for me, which would be why I'm wearing them. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, Adrian, thank you. I should write this down. Yes, Adrian. Yes. Not yours to own. If the number that you're bearing is set at, north by northwest, whatever that movie was, north by northwest, that's a bearing. It's not straight north. It's north by northwest. It's there. All right. If you set your bearing based on where you want to be and how you want to feel, and you start with where you are and you plot the course to the bearing, the feeling, the point of view, the attitude, the energy, and you draw a straight line from where you are to where that is, that's the number. That's your bearing. That's the direction you're heading. There is no after, because as I said about going on a journey, find the hotel, find the car, find the suitcase, find the clothing, try the clothing on, discover that somehow it shrank since the last time you wore it, or it stretched. Find other clothing, throw that clothing out, pack the bag, book the ticket, get in the car, check that there's fuel, check that it's charged, drive the car to the place you need to take the bag, get in the vehicle, go where you're going. Every single one of these tick the box was a destination along the way. You had to get in the car before you could drive it. Alrighty then. You had to reach the hotel before you could go in it. Alrighty then. Everything is a destination. Everything is a step. And every step is an opportunity to pause, look up, look around, get your bearings, adjust accordingly, carry on. I am inviting you. This is my complete gift sensation to you. It's not confined to a container. It is a state of mind that I wish to give to you, to share with you. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear gladly with me. You and I will bear it together. We will be on our journey happily, ever. How cool is that? How awesome is that? Personally, I'm over the moon with it. I'm beyond over the moon with it. I think it is the gift we are all needing, It's tearing me up. It is the gift we are all needing, the permission to bear with. Come bearing. Check, reset, celebrate our bearings. I think that's our gift to each other this year. Let me know what you think. Thank you, New Zealand, for joining me. Adrian, Patrick, Freddie, Eddie, Charles, all of you, every single one of you who takes the time every time to check in, whether it's live in the moment or later. And the one thing I want to say before I do my See You Thursdays is this. I checked on YouTube yesterday, and we only need 4. We only need 4 more subscribers on the YouTube channel to reach 300. So today's the 19th. Okay, so 19, 29, that's 10 days, 11, 12. So we have 12 days. We have 12 days to get 4 more subscribers. What I'm going to do, it's very easy to find me. It's Abby Haggard YouTube. I think it's Abby Haggard Fame. But just go to YouTube and type in the search bar. If you haven't already been there, just type in the search bar Abby Haggard Fame, and my little face comes up. Subscribe. Tell your friends. I want to reach 300 this year. This is, and so it'll be my 200 and so this is 208. So 29, 10, 11. So we will start the new year with 212. Will be the episode for 2024. How incredible is that? You see this? You see the synchronicity? 212, 2024. So cool. All right. So that's the ask. That's the only ask. If you haven't become a subscriber, please do. You go there. There's a thing you can click subscribe, and it'll pop up in my email. And I thank you. That'll be awesome. So we're going to be bearing together in all the ways that are bearable, unbearably fabulous. Okay, we're going to be leaning in, and I will be back. We will be back. All of us will be back on Thursday for more of this lovely leaning into the season, bearing strongly forward. In the meantime, between now and then, be good to you. Really, be good to you. You deserve it. And hug your loved ones. And I will catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, you know what I need to do?